The loss prevention officer grabbed my arm at the exit and said, "We both know what's in the bag." I said, "So does the receipt, and your cameras." I'd stopped at a big box hardware store around 8 p.m. to buy a cordless drill, a specific one, because mine had died halfway through installing my daughter's closet shelves. In and out in 15 minutes. Paid at self-checkout, receipt in hand, drill in the bag, walking out the door. That's when a hand clamped onto my arm hard enough to spin me sideways. Big guy, polo shirt, lanyard that said asset protection. He pulled me back through the doors while announcing, loud enough for the whole front of the store to hear, "Sir, you're being detained for theft." Every head at the registers turned. A woman pulled her kid closer. I've never stolen anything in my life, and now 30 strangers were looking at me like a mugshot. I held up my receipt. I paid. Right there, 3 minutes ago. He didn't look at it. Self-checkout scammers always have a receipt. You skip scan the drill. I watched you do it. Then pull the camera footage. It'll take 5 minutes. Something flickered across his face when I said that, and I clocked it, but I didn't understand it yet. He marched me to a windowless office in the back, sat me in a plastic chair, and stood between me and the door. He took my bag and my receipt. Then he took out a clipboard with a form already half filled out. My description was written on it before he'd stopped me. "Here's how this works," he said. "You sign this civil demand acknowledging the theft, you pay the store's recovery fee of $400, and I don't call the police. Everybody goes home. I'm not signing an admission for something your own cameras will disprove. The cameras face the aisles, not self-checkout." He said it fast, too fast, like a man who'd said it many times. "Then check my transaction. The register logs every scan with a timestamp. You people always have an answer." He leaned in. "Sign it, or I call the cops, and you get walked out in cuffs in front of everyone, and that follows you forever. Got a job? Kids?" I did have kids. I also had something he didn't know about. A receipt in my hand was only my backup copy. I'd paid with the store's app, which emails an itemized digital receipt with the exact register number and timestamp. And because I'd been burned by a broken drill return before, I had filmed myself scanning the drill at checkout. 10 seconds of video, taken so I'd have proof of condition for the warranty. It was sitting in my phone. "Call them," I said. "Call the police right now. I'll wait." He blinked. That was not the script. The script was scared people signing forms. He tried the speech again, louder. I took out my phone and he snapped, "No phones," and reached for it, and I said the sentence that ended his career. "I'm calling them myself, and then I'm showing everyone the video of me scanning this drill." The store manager arrived before the police did, a tired-looking woman named Denise who clearly did not enjoy being summoned at 8:30. The LP guy started narrating his version, skip scan classic behavior pattern, refused to cooperate. Denise held up a hand, turned to me and said, "You said you have video?" I played it. 10 seconds. The drill, the scanner, the beep, the screen showing $129.99, my thumb hitting pay. Then I forwarded her the digital receipt, register 6:08:04 p.m. She looked at the timestamp, looked at the form on his clipboard with my description pre-written, and asked him very quietly, "What time did you start this form, Marcus?" He didn't answer. The register logs did. She pulled the transaction on the office computer herself, every item scanned, payment cleared, while he stood there explaining that the system sometimes doesn't reflect. The actual police showed up, listened for 4 minutes, and declined to detain the man holding a receipt, a video, and a matching register log. One officer took my statement, the other took Denise aside, and I heard the phrase, "Not the first call to this location." It was not the first call. My lawyer, hired the next morning, found through discovery that this store had logged 9 civil recovery payments in 6 months, all cash or card on the spot, all signed in that windowless room, several from people who described being threatened with police in front of their children. Marcus got a bonus tied to recovery numbers. He was manufacturing thieves at self-checkout, and shaking down anyone scared enough to sign. He was fired within the month. The company settled with me for a number I can't disclose, and because my lawyer insisted, they mailed refund checks to every person who'd signed one of his forms. My daughter's shelves came out great, by the way. The drill sits in my garage next to a printed receipt in a frame. My wife thinks the frame is a joke. It's not a joke. It's a monument.